Hello and welcome to this tutorial where we are going to see the theory behind the OLSET software in order to understand how we can use it properly and the value that we can get out of it. So first of all, let's see what OLSET means. OLSET is the acronym of Organizational Learning Self-Evaluation Tool. Anyone who wants to dive deeper into the theory can go to Amazon and buy the book, which is titled Doing More with Less, Organizational Learning and the OLSET Tool. It would be better if you could search by writer, and my name is Anthi Theopoulou. So as we said, what is OLSET? OLSET is the Organizational Learning Self-Evaluation Tool. First of all, why self-evaluation? Self-evaluation because we are using a scientific tool, and it is a common knowledge that science doesn't exist without rigorous measurement. In practice, this means that this tool starts and finishes with an evaluation. We have a specific scale that measures the organizational learning capacity of your organization, and it is meant to benchmark your progress over time. We'll see it in a while how this report looks like. So, first of all, we said why self-organization, and let's see why organizational learning. Well, what organizational learning means? Well, in fact, the definitional disagreement is the first most referenced gap in the field's literature. Consequently, we have hundreds of different definitions for organizational learning, and we did not plan to add one more to this vast amount. If you want to read about definitions of organizational learning, there are 4 full pages in the book quoting the definitions and trying to also do a first level of clustering. So we will not stay there, but what we want to see is what is the organizational learning equation. And let's see this for a while. The organizational learning equation that came out of the OLSET research suggests that organizational learning equals individual learning. This is the very well known to all of us training, plus a learning sharing system, plus an organizational memory system, times core competencies or values. Another word that we could use here instead of values would be strategy, but that's more deep to understand, because both values and strategy is a set of predetermined decisions that determine the course of future decision taking. Consequently, if we have worked to put in place a core strategy that replicates constantly the evolution cycle that we discovered in the OLSET research. And what is the meaning of organizational learning? Why do we want to manage it? So we want to manage it because organizational learning is for an organization what the nervous system is for a human body. This means that organizational learning is a function that has been in place from the very beginning of the organization's existence until the present time, and will stay unaltered until somebody goes into the organizational learning function and changes the systemic structure of the organization. This is deeper theory, we are not going to go there, but our software is based on this equation. We don't spend much time on individual learning, we don't have learning management software here. The learning management softwares are plenty out there, you can find as many as you want. This is all about individual learning, all about training, as well as the learning that gets into the mind of an individual through his social activity. So take in mind also the social interactions of the individual, which means also the culture. Then we have a learning sharing system which we have put in place into the software, and an organizational memory system which we have developed up to a very satisfying point, not fully yet, is still on a beta version, but we have developed the base for an organizational memory system, which is a searchable library of learning, of new learning from every single employee. This is searchable, so it means that future decision can be informed by past action. And then the strategy, the skeleton of the strategy that we use, because it needs to be filled in by you, we only give you a skeleton, is about values, is about how the evolutionary cycle goes around. And let's see the big picture, how the evolutionary cycle goes around. This is the evolutionary cycle. It is spiral, it goes up and up. And if we had a microscope, this is how this small portion, this one step maybe, will look like. So we see that decisions influence organizational culture, rules, norms, routines, which on their turn influence future decisions. There is also the influence from individual actions within the organization, and there is also the influence of institutional actions from the environment of the organization. I should mention the reference, which is written down here, Scappens 2006. This is adjusted from Scappens 2006. As I said at the beginning, OLSET is a scientific synthesis of existing literature. Consequently, everything is referenced in the synthesis. And if you want to find these references, please go to your account. Just a minute. Go to your account. Log into your account. And go to the organizational memory system beta. There you will see uploaded a version of the synthesis, of the written representation of the synthesis, which is the manual, and at the end of it there are all the references. And if you want to get deeper into organizational learning theory, you are most welcome to dive into these references. So, but what is the smaller picture? The smaller picture is this. I have 3 accounts here. I'm going to show you a fully completed OLSET process. So I have 3 accounts here. I choose which one I want to work with. So I'm going to work on the OLSET organization using the OLSET software. And here it is. We are at the process page of the software. We went through the initial evaluation, which was right here. And after the initial evaluation, as we said, everything starts and ends with an evaluation. We can see this at step 3, which is evaluate, self-evaluate. This is step 3, where we have exactly the same evaluation, and we benchmark the difference between your first scores and your scores after the end of your first project. And how do we really get the value out of this evaluation? We click the report. The value is delivered in the software through the reports. Basically, all the rest is calculations that we do. So click the report from the OLSET audit and go through it very carefully. It has all these different chapters, and at the end there are individual questions, and that will help you improve your next organizational learning measurement. So let's go back to the small picture. So the small picture is that we continuously go through an evolutionary cycle that has 4 parts. The first part is outside the actual cycle. That's why we named it step 0. The first part is all about reflect. And in this part we utilize the theory of Peter Senge that says the principle of creative tension that Peter Senge taught, according to which we can achieve our vision as long as we have in our mind both the current reality and the vision state. So this is what we do in step 0. You can see this right here. This is step 0, current reality survey, text box, vision survey, vision text box, and initial intentions. Then we go to step 1, which is all about understand that it is the systemic structure map. The systemic structure map of our vision. We want the systemic structure map in order to know the systemic structure of our system, in order to identify the proper projects that we need to do in order to move from our current reality to our vision state. So we have our systemic structure map. This is all filled in. Here is the map. You can see it also here without the list. This is on a bigger scale. But again, as we said, the value, let's go back. The value is delivered through the report. The report is here. I click this. Here it opens up and it presents me with a list of actions. I'm sorry we had some problems with page breaks, with automating page breaks. We have here a list of sentences that indicate each one project that we can make in order to move towards our vision. We read all these sentences and then we go through the questions, the deepening questions that the report provides in order to prioritize and choose projects. So after we prioritize and choose projects, we go back to the process page. We go to the systemic action map. This is filled in again. I have a list of systemic action maps because I have many projects in place for this organization. And I'm gonna show you the rest of the OLSET theory in the next video. Thank you for watching.